Hi, this is Elizabeth Cermak with Your Highest Light here every Friday at 11:11 to talk to you about your favorite topic and mine, attracting more beautiful things into your life. And if you're joining me, just drop me an emoji. Let me know that you're here. Comment and let me know where you're watching from. Excited to be back. I missed last week. Let's see, I missed 1 week. So don't even ask me what I did 2 weeks ago. I don't even know what we talked about, but I know what we're going to talk about today, so that's all that matters. So today we're going to talk about how to listen to that voice inside your head that tells you everyone loves you and everything is going to be okay. So we're talking today about how to listen to that voice inside your head. There's a voice inside your head. There's many voices, but there's one that tells you that everyone loves you and everything is going to be okay. So that's really the title of what we're talking about today. So good to see you guys. Hi Katie, hi John, hi Emily, hi Dorothy. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining today. So we're talking about how to listen to that voice inside your head that tells you that everyone loves you and that everything's going to be okay. So I am back from Quebec. My husband and I went to Quebec over the weekend to see Paul McCartney. It was amazing. Quebec is a beautiful town. It's so romantic. I took 6 years of French in high school and college, and it's amazing how it came back to me. I haven't used my French in so long, and it's amazing how seeing Auvert, written on the signs and ferme for closed. It's just amazing to see that, and I love the French language, so it was so much fun. The first day there, I got to touch Paul McCartney's hand, so after that happened, I was pretty good for the rest of the trip. We had an absolute blast. You can check out my pictures on Facebook. So good to see you guys today. So whenever I go on a trip, I start to listen to that small, still voice within me once again. It's like I relearn to listen to that small, still voice within to connect with my intuition. And it happens every time I go on a trip. I think it's something that happens when I go somewhere else, somewhere different. If you guys relate to what I'm saying at all, let me know. Drop me an emoji to let me know. Hi Jen, good to see you. It's so good to meet you. I got to meet some of my friends from Instagram. Jen, we just know each other from Instagram and from Fans on the Run, and we got to meet in Quebec, so that was so cool. So much fun. It was just amazing. I use that word too much recently, the word amazing, but it just doesn't even describe the trip. I can't even describe it. And the concert was so great. It was the best one yet. We say that every time, but this one it really was. It was the best one yet. Paul's new album, Egypt Station, went #1 in the United States the day of the concert. So it was just a lot of excitement in the air. It was just very cool. So we're talking today about how to listen to that voice that tells you, and I'm going to repeat this numerous times so it's installed in your brain, that voice that tells you that everyone loves you and that everything is going to be okay. So when I go on vacation, I connect with my intuition again. There's something, I think my brain gets rattled up, it's something about going to a new place. It's relaxing, I'm not working necessarily, so I'm able to look at things differently, and I start once again to connect to that small, still voice within, and I start to ask before making decisions. And if there's one thing that you get out of watching today, I want it to be that you start to ask. And what that does is it creates some space between you and whatever decision is that you have to make, just by asking, just by going within, asking that small, still voice within what you should do. And you can do this with anything. I do it with what I'm going to wear, with what I'm going to eat, with all those small decisions, the decisions that we think are very small throughout our day, when they're built up, they're actually very big. It's Judith Orliff, I think, who says that the big decisions we make, the decisions we think that are big in our lives, like who to marry and where to go to college, that those decisions are actually very small, and it's the little decisions that are actually big. So start checking in, ask your intuition, what should you do? Just for any little things, make it like a game, check in, what should you wear? What should you eat? Should I eat this or this? And the voice that comes, and I noticed this at the beginning of my trip, the voice that answers will be calm. And the second step is really just to listen. So it might not make sense. It might say eat Taco Bell. I don't know. It might not make sense of what it tells you to do, but you have to listen and trust that is intuitive guidance, because it might not make sense in the moment. You might understand later why the voice is telling you to say what it's telling you to say. So the voice, your intuitive voice is going to come from the small, still place within. It's going to come from a calm place. It's going to come from a comforting place. And it's going to tell you what to do. You know, even if it's telling you get out of the way because a bus is going to hit you, it doesn't have to, it's not going to tell you in a way where it's like, you jerk, get out of the way. It's going to just tell you to get out of the way. It's just going to tell you what you need to know. Okay? So the first step is to ask. The second step is to listen. So listen and trust what it's saying and just do what it says. No matter what, you know, just do what it says, even if it doesn't make sense at the moment. So the third step, so our first step is ask, our second step is listen, and then the third step is to decipher. So what I noticed when my husband and I go see Paul McCartney, it's a little different vacation than if we're going and staying on the beach the whole time, okay? So that's super relaxing, going to stay on the beach. Going to see Paul McCartney, we sat in second row this time. It's not relaxing. I was just thinking, when my husband and I got on stage with Paul about 3 years ago, something that I wasn't expecting, and I was talking to my psychiatrist friend after it happened, and I said to him, you know, I was just talking to him about how I just want inner peace. The only thing I've ever wanted in my life is inner peace. That is what I want. And he said, well, was it peaceful being on stage with Paul McCartney? And I said, no. And so, I mean, realizing that when he asked me that and I answered that question, I realized that I really don't know what I want. The universe is going to give me what I want. God's going to give me what I want. I don't always know what I want. So I thought I wanted inner peace, but really I did want to be on stage. So that, you know, the universe knew more than I did what I needed. Anyway, and that's just an example of how the universe is always bringing you to your highest good. My goal that night was to have as much fun as I possibly can. And, you know, that happened. So, okay. So anyway, so the first step is to ask. The second step is to listen. If you get anything out of this call or out of this video, it's to remember to ask. Hi, Cynthia. Good to see you. Hi, Miranda. It's to remember to ask. So ask the small, still voice within, what should I do? Ask what you should wear. Ask what you should eat. Ask for any decision that you have to make throughout the day. Check in, you know, and this creates mindfulness. It creates more mindful moments throughout the day. It creates more acting from a place of love throughout the day. So remember to check in. It creates some space between you and whatever it is that you're doing, like in yoga. So ask and listen and then decipher. So here's the thing. Like I said, when my husband and I go see Paul McCartney, it's a little different. It's not as relaxing as another vacation. And what I notice is about a day or so before the concert, I'll ask that voice, I'll still be asking, and all of a sudden, it's telling me no all the time. So I wanted to title this, something about the asshole in your mind, because we all have that asshole or that person in our mind, that voice in our mind that is telling us, it's the ego, the part that edges got out. So let's go back. So about a day or so before the concert, it'll tell me no. I'll say, should I dye my hair pink? It'll say no. I'll say, should I wear this crazy dress? It'll say no. So your ego is your self-hate, but it disguises itself as your self-love. So it's telling me, like, I'm trying to keep you safe. I'm not, you know, you're going to make a fool of yourself if you dye your hair pink. You're going to make a fool of yourself if you wear that crazy outfit. It's keeping you small. It's keeping me small, and it's keeping me safe, and it's telling me, it's disguising itself as my self-love. So anytime I've dyed my hair pink, my ego has gone nuts. It said, you know, it says don't do it. It says you're crazy. It says you're going to make a fool of yourself, basically. That is your ego talking. That is not coming from a place of love. That is the jerk that's inside your mind, okay? That is the asshole that is inside your mind that's talking, that's telling you things to keep you small. So ask, listen, and then decipher. Decipher if it's the ego talking or if it's your higher self talking. So the ego is, remember, is your self-hate disguised as your self-love, so it'll keep you small. For me, the reason when I know it's my ego talking, it's when I start hearing no, 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 don't do that over and over and over again. Sometimes your self-love will tell you no, but it's going to come from a different place. So start to learn to decipher when it's your ego and when it is your higher self. Nobody has this perfect, you guys. Like, this is not, nobody has this perfect. So this is something that you need to practice and listen to how it sounds. It comes from a different place. You know, we are not, I just listened to something recently that says you're only allowed to be scared if there's a tiger chasing you or if there's somebody breaking into your home. We are safe. So there's no reason to be afraid. Your higher self is not going to tell you something that's making you feel miserable or that's making you feel anxious. That is your ego talking, and it's time to shut it up. So your higher self is going to say that it's safe to be seen, that it's safe to go big. It's going to tell you that everybody loves you, and it's going to tell you that everything's going to be okay. So even if, okay, you might say, Elizabeth, that's not true. Everybody doesn't love me. Okay, so maybe there's a couple people out, you might have a couple haters, and I had that experience recently, you guys. It was interesting. I had a lot of inner work to do with that. So yeah, you might have a couple haters. Not everybody might not love you, but it's more real than everybody hates you and that you're going to make a fool of yourself, because the couple haters that you have, even them at their highest, in their highest good, loves you. So everybody does love you, and everything is going to be okay. So this is hilarious. I have a kind of a funny story to tell about this. So when we're excited and whether or not we're about to do something big and scary, or if we're just excited, we're about to do something really fun, no matter what, that's when the ego kind of creeps in. It's when all those kind of asshole voices kind of show up. So whenever we're about to do something fun or exciting or scary, that's when we're kind of on high alert, and where that defense mechanism comes in, like trying to keep us safe, like trying to say, don't do it, don't do it. So, I mean, every time I do one of these videos, that voice comes, and it'll try to give me reasons why I can't do it, or reasons why I look bad, or whatever, you know. So anytime you do something slightly scary that's out of your comfort zone or that's exciting, that voice is going to come up. So you need to, the one hint that you're listening to your higher self is those two things that I just said, that it's going to tell you everybody loves you and that everything is going to be okay. So find that voice. Say, where is that voice that says everybody loves me and everything's going to be okay? So this is hilarious. Before my husband, since we just got back from seeing Paul McCartney, I've got to talk about this. Before my husband and I went on stage with Paul, but we got brought on stage at a Paul McCartney concert, and before we went on stage, my voices were going crazy, right? Because I mean, this is like a huge moment in my life where that's going to happen. And that's going to happen anytime something exciting and good happens in your life as well. And the voice, actually, the jerk voice in my head actually told me, this is hilarious, that Paul McCartney was mad at me. I'm announcing this publicly. It was, so we laughed, my husband and I laughed about this, and I was laughing with my friend Mary about this over the weekend. I mean, Paul McCartney was not mad at me. He was very sweet. He wasn't really thinking about me. Paul McCartney was not thinking about me. See how the ego makes you think that you're more important actually than you are? I mean, I got over that. I didn't stay in that thinking he was mad at me, but actually the voice did tell me that. So that's how it's going to attack. You know, it's going to attack, and it's going to try to attack big. And you gotta get its number. You gotta learn where it's coming from and know that that's not true, you know, because that obviously was not true. And I instead connected with, I ended up shifting and connecting with a voice that says, everybody loves me, everything is going to be okay. And that's the voice that you want to listen to, okay? So the reason why I shared that is because it shows how crazy that voice can be, you know? I mean, we all have said, when anybody who's experienced anxiety gets a little bit of relief when they realize they're not as important as they thought they were, that not everybody's watching them, you know, and so that voice will really kind of make you think that, you know, like that you will make a fool of yourself, or that everybody hates you, and it's like, okay, no, people aren't really even thinking about you, okay? So you have one chance at this life. Be big, go strong, be bold, and do it. And it's safe to be seen, it's safe to be heard. Everybody loves you, and everything is going to be okay. Okay, so the 3 steps. Hi, Jamie. It's so good to see you guys. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie just said she liked the purple fence. Thank you. We painted our fence purple a couple years ago. I think it was about 3 years ago, and it was kind of like a big deal. Because it took guts to go bold, right? To be seen, to go bold, to be brave. And not everybody's going to like that. Not everybody's going to like those purple walls or whatever it is that you do in your life. Go big, go all out, be brave. I say, find something you love and go all the way, okay? So I'm going to pull a card from the Fairy Tarot deck for us for the week. So, okay, ask, listen, and decipher. So when you want to connect with your higher self and you want to take more aligned action, remember to ask first. That's the first step. I mean, honestly, if you remember to ask, then you've gotten a lot out of this video. So remember to ask, remember to listen, and then decipher. Is it my higher self talking or is it my ego talking? Next week, we're going to talk about the next step, which is stay calm. And we're going to talk more about manifesting next week, and it's going to start with that step of stay calm. Okay. And remember, your intuition comes from a calm place. It comes from a place of love. Your ego will come from a place that'll make you feel anxious, it'll make you feel bad, it'll make you feel like people are thinking bad things about you. That's your ego talking. Don't listen to it. Listen to the voice that tells you everyone loves you and everything's going to be okay. Okay. So, yeah, Jamie, yes, actually we have awesome neighbors. Our neighbors love our fence. Hi, Claudia. Hi, Carolyn. So good to see you guys. Okay, so let's see what card we pull for the week. Okay, we got the 10 of Spring. I noticed when I watch these videos again that I don't put these cards up here long enough. So the 10 of Spring, which says ask for help, all work and no play, being weighed down by too many responsibilities. So this is saying this week really to start asking for help, that maybe you're taking on too much. Especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to do it all on your own, there's probably things that you need to be asking for help for. So, or if you are a mom or a dad and you need to ask help from your spouse or from your kids, don't try to do it all on your own. So this is really saying this week to also to play a little bit, not to make your life all work and no play. So it's reminding you to play a little bit. You know, if everything's work and we're stressed out all the time, that's when we get sick. So you want to, it's Friday, so let's take a weekend. Don't be all work and no play, and make sure that you ask for help from other people. Okay, come here, Prudence. I wanted Prudence to say goodbye. So I'll post this on my story, the 10 of Spring. What I have been doing, I've been doing this for a long time, is I pull a card every day for myself. Prudence is like, oh, she's ignoring me. Come here, Prudence. I pull a card every day. So then a lot of times this card might make sense to you later. It might not make sense to you right now. So like later on today, you might be like, oh, that's what that card meant. So that's why it's good sometimes to have the picture. I pull a card every day and then I can kind of base my day around it. So I can be like, okay, that's what this card said. And that also helps me check in with my intuition as well, as to know what the angels were telling me that morning as well, or what my divine guidance was telling me. And having that card with you for the day is so helpful. Okay, so I'm back from my vacation. I've hired a business coach, so I've got a lot of exciting things coming. I am really excited about it. I'm talking with her on Tuesday, and so I'm going to have everything kind of more down by the end of the week. And just so you know, though, I am still offering angel card readings and life coaching. It's going to change. My prices are going to be going up pretty soon. So if you guys want to get locked in on my prices right now, I have a great 8-session life coaching package, which would be a great thing for you to take advantage of right now. Also, with my angel card readings, I do them over the phone and I do them over email. So if you feel like you want some divine guidance, I would say it's like a second opinion. It's like an opinion from the above. If you feel like you want some divine guidance and something, please contact me and we can talk about how to do a reading as well, okay? I love you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye, Jen. Yes, have a great weekend. And peace and love, and I will see you next week. I was going to say Friday at 11:11, but I'm going to be switching the day, so I'm not sure if it'll be next Friday at 11:11 or if it's going to be during the week soon. So I'll keep you guys posted though online. Love you guys. It was so good to see you, and I missed you, and this is my favorite thing in the world to do. So I will be back next week. Peace and love. Bye.